Good evening, children. Good evening. Come on, join in the class. Good evening, guys. I hope I am audible to everyone. Am I audible to you? When chemistry class, Vardhan, good. Chemistry class already over. Better chemistry class already over. Chemistry class was changed to 4:45. Information was shared in the group also. Good evening, children. Good evening, guys. Just remind me yesterday what all you have done. If I ask you something, which stage of the embryo attaches to the uterus? Uterus is the womb. Which stage of the embryo attaches to the uterus? And the answer has been given by Mimansa Reddy. I didn't expect from you guys. Manavi Mayuk, I did not expect. I thought that this question will, you cannot understand blastocyst at this stage. And well, wonderful answer, wonderful answer. Answer is blastocyst. Okay, so people who are asking, sir, what is egg, what is ovum, what is sperm? I think they are making fun of themselves. Okay, so it's like, because a person who is answering that blastocyst is implanted, well, this is one of the medical entrance question, and you have still not entered into your first year. Wonderful answer. I really appreciate, really appreciate. Blastocyst. Okay, so please tell me, morula is formed before blastocyst or after blastocyst? Morula is formed before blastocyst. Very good. So zygote, and then zygote divides into morula, and when morula again some more cells are there, and there is a cavity within, and when the cavity is formed, it is called blastocyst. So till it becomes the blastocyst, the size of the embryo does not increase. I have made a diagram wherein I have just increased the number of cells, but the total size I did not increase. Now there is a reason for this. Okay, I give you one concept here. The concept is, smaller the cell, more active it is. Once again, smaller a cell, more active it is, more efficient it is. Once again, smaller a cell, more efficient it is. It is something to do with the nucleocytoplasmic ratio. Nucleocytoplasmic ratio. That this nucleocytoplasmic ratio should be higher. If it is getting smaller, if it is getting lesser, the cell will not be that efficient. You understand? So can you repeat my statement? What did I say? I said, smaller a cell, more efficient it is. You can just compare it to a classroom, okay? So there is a classroom of very young children, very, very young, maybe the toddlers or just the first, the lower KG, wherein the teacher is literally controlling each and every student. Those kids, if the teacher doesn't look at them, they will start running there, here and there. They can fall down. They can do all type of nuisance. The teacher is a caretaker also. A teacher is like a parent also. So teacher. Okay. Now, tell me, are you guys there? Are you guys there? What has happened? What has happened? Recording configuration, something. Let us not. So I was telling you about, yes, I was telling you about this classroom. So now you have two situations. In one situation, teacher is there and number of children are 10. In one situation, one teacher and 50 students. Which class will go in a more coordinated, in a more efficient manner? Where teacher is one only, teacher won't be, teacher is one, but number of children are 10 or number of children are 40. Okay, answer is where the number of children are 10. Very good. When the number of children are 10, then the teacher can take care of this class even in a better way, more efficient way. So the same is there in the cell. When the cell size increases, the nucleus more or less remains the same. So maybe a size of a cell is whatever, the size of the nucleus is more or less the same. So if a cell becomes bigger, it is the cytoplasm which is adding to it, just and not the nucleus. And nucleus is like a teacher, it's like the coordinator, it's like the director, it's like the controller. And now in that situation, when the cytoplasm is more, the same teacher has to take care of a big class. And when the cytoplasm is less, a same teacher has to take care of a small class. Obviously, a small cell is more efficient and more active. Another way, I'll ask you an example. Who is more active, a spermatozoa or an egg? Okay, first of all, who is bigger, a sperm or an egg? Who is bigger? Who is bigger? Very good answer. Egg is bigger. Perfect. Egg is a bigger cell than sperm. Okay, done. In the sperm, only one tail part is longer. So as such, the cell size is egg size is bigger, much bigger, not bigger, much bigger. In fact, beta, it is the largest body cell. It is the largest body cell. Its diameter is 100 microns. 100 micrometer. How much? 100 micrometer. And 100 micrometer is the size when, if you have very good eyes, without any problem in the eyes, and if there is a dark background, you can see it by your eyes. That much of size is there of the real size egg, human egg. It's the largest cell. The largest animal cell is ostrich egg of an ostrich. So eggs are generally very large cells, okay? So what happens that if the body form of the size of the cell, if all the cells in the body are equal to the size of the egg, then the body cells are considered to be less efficient. Less efficient because egg is a very big cell, where the nucleocytoplasmic ratio is lesser. You understand? And that is the reason which is more active, sperm or egg. Certainly egg is bigger, sperm is smaller. Which is more active, sperm or egg? Sperm is more active. Very good. Sperm is more active. Perfect. You understand? So that is the reason to regain the same size of the cell. What happens that in the beginning, the size of the daughter cells does not increase. So only thing, the number is increasing, but the size does not increase. Are you guys with me? You understand? That is the reason you find that there is some special type of cell divisions are occurring. It is not the question of the nucleus. Nucleus, all are the copies of, all have the same number of chromosomes, all are diploid, but only thing is the cytoplasm, as in more and more time cells dividing, the amount of cytoplasm per cell is decreasing, because the total cytoplasm of even a blastocyst is the same. So from the size of the zygote to the size of the blastocyst, it is more or less same. Only thing is that there is a small cavity in the blastocyst, and therefore it is so easy for a blastocyst to attach to the wall of the uterus. What is uterus? It is a mother's womb, garbham, womb, uterus. So I think it's a very good answer people have given, and I have also explained you something called nucleocytoplasmic ratio. I explained you nucleocytoplasmic ratio, and never ever forget the fact that smaller the size of a cell, the more active it is. It is more active. Dear children, hope you understand so far. Gastrulation is the next stage. So after blastula or blastocyst, in mammals we call it blastocyst. After blastocyst, the next stage is known as gastrula. Gastrula. Gas, G-A-S, gas, trula, gastrula. And gastrula is characterized by formation of germinal layers. How many germinal layers are formed? Are they 2 or 3 or 4 or sometimes 2, sometimes 3? Are they 2, 3, 4, or sometimes 2 or sometimes 3? Yes, you are right. It is sometimes 2 and sometimes 3. In some organisms, they are 2. In many organisms, it is 3. When it is 3, we call it triploblastic. These animals are called triploblastic, and when it is 2, animals are called diploblastic. Can anyone give me the example of diploblastic phyla? Come on, beta, tell me the examples of diploblastic. This is easier for you. When you answered about the blastocyst, this is a peanut for you. Examples of the diploblastic phyla. Diploblastic, diplo beta, diplo, double, diploblastic, ctenophora, Cnidaria ctenophora, wonderful beta, Cnidaria ctenophora, diploblastic phyla, diplo means double. Diplo means double, diploblastic phylum or phyla means plural. It means Cnidaria and ctenophora. So just remember, 2 phyla are diploblastic and remaining all phyla are triploblastic. Phylum Porifera is not categorized as diplo or triplo because it is a phylum without any tissue. So there is no tissue, there is no such formation of any layer. Are you guys with me? So before starting further, before continuing further, can I ask you, can you name any phylum of animals where the neurons are absent? You imagine animals without neurons, animals without nerve cells. But yes, there is a phylum where neurons are absent. Can you please tell me which phylum is that? Neurons are absent neurons. Yes, correct answer. Beta, amoeba, we don't consider it in animals. So you are right. Amoeba is a single cell. So there is no question of any other cell inside. Oh, fine. But animal is metazoans, multicellular. Metazoans. So yes, people answered where neurons are absent. Arshia, correct answer. And Tejaswini Hatesh, correct answer. You picked up nicely. And Dharmana, Metazoans, Arshia, Porifera, Hema, Porifera. Yes, you're right. Only phylum where neurons are absent. No nerve cell, Porifera. And now a little googly. This is easier for people like you. Now a little googly. And the googly is, name a phylum where neurons are present but nervous tissue is absent. Where neurons are present but nervous tissue, where nervous tissue is there but does not have a brain. Name a phylum where nervous tissue is present but brain is absent or nervous system is absent. Nervous tissue present, nervous system absent. Nervous tissue present, nervous system absent. Yes, you are right. Cnidaria, ctenophora. These are the 2 phylum where you have the nervous tissue, where you have neurons, but there is no such brain, there is no such organized cells, there is no such organized tissue to form the nervous system. So only neurons are there. In case of Cnidaria and ctenophora, neurons are there and they form a network, they form a nerve net, but then they don't form any organ, neither they form any organ system. Wonderful. So answer is correct. And this is little googly, but still many of you could answer it correctly. Now, some of you, I think you are, you are not answering seriously, or maybe you are not picking up that well. Don't worry, beta. If others can pick up, I am damn sure that everyone who is attending this class can 100% pick each and everything. You people share the same gene pool, then how come it is possible that many people can get that and some people cannot get? It is just that timing, little difference in timing, very little difference in timing which is there, and then it can be easily rectified. Advantage is that we have plenty of time, we have enough time to do that. See, all these things is a function of time. We require time for that, okay? Like Rome was not built in one day. We know that, right? So even whatever we can say, you are great and I am great and this system is great. We are the best teachers in India. We are the best teachers in Asia. Whatever is the case, time is required. Let me tell you, even the same thing, even the same chapter from the same teacher, from the same book, same teacher, same book, same chapter. It takes time so that the information settle in your mind. The information settles. It takes time for the information to get settled. Just an idea. You go to a new place. You go to a new place. Suppose you are not from Vijayawada. You just come to Vijayawada. Okay. Now the first thing, you're Vijayawada. You are might be in a hotel or someone's relative, someone knows house. Okay. What do you know about the city? Nothing. At max, you know to call an Ola or an Uber and just you can go for a ride. But then if you're asked to do it by yourself, it is really, sometimes you cannot even return back to your hotel or return back to your, it happened with me. It happened with me. So me and my paternal uncle, that is the youngest brother of my father. So my youngest brother of my father had a business. So he has to present the Indian clothes in Japan. So he just took me also because that time I was very much depressed, because of a recent injury I had that time. So he just said, okay, Anurag, you can be with me. And it is hardly 1 week, we'll be in Japan. So the very first the very first day, so what happened that we just came out to eat something outside. We just find that we may look for some Indian hotel. We may find out some more Indians there because to penetrate in the Japanese market, we require Indians. Okay, so some Indians already we had an idea about. We have in contact, but we want to just explore more and more. So me and my uncle, and my uncle is not too old. We just came out of the hotel. And the hotel name is some Mataka, something very unusual hotel name. Okay. Injury, something happened. Okay. So that is a different thing. Injury means a physical injury. So what happened? When we are trying to return back to the hotel, because we tried to ask someone that where is this way, any Indian hotel nearby, there was no one on the road. If few people are there, they're not able to understand. That time we were not well versed with the Google that we can speak in Google and Google can translate in voice and can tell other one. Okay. So we can even converse with the application. That time it was not, I'm talking about 1997, 98. That time, I'm 1997 to be more precise. And you're waiting for anyone to come and the cars are coming by a speed of 80 to 100 kilometers per hour. The vehicles are moving. And slowly and slowly we started finding that now we are in little trouble. We are in little trouble. And in addition to that, what we don't have are the keys of the hotel. We just left the keys on the reception. This is the biggest mistake we have done. If we have the keys, we can show it to anyone, at least the police, that we are from this hotel, because see, you cannot read, and moreover, the names are very difficult to take. Okay. And we both were like novice. What happened that we just lost. We lost in the sense we became nervous and we forget the name of the hotel. And that time we don't have that much mobile phone information, all recording, email and all. That time was not like that. Okay. So soon we decided to just go to anyone who is a government agency or police. So we find police, local police there. Okay. And then we tried to converse with them. They were trying to understand. They called someone who understands English only, right? And somehow something happened. And then they tried to find out where are we staying. Now there are so many hotels in Tokyo, where to find out that in which hotel of Tokyo. And that time it was no knick-knack that all hotels are connected by a network where a police can just put the information and can see that this new person, traveler, has come from which country, has in which hotel. This now it is there. In 1997, it was not there. So you know what they do? What they did? They just try to find out. So, and the very same day we came from New Delhi. So they asked us, when was the flight landed? We said early morning, around 5:30 or 6, early morning, our flight landed in Tokyo. Fine. So from there we went to our this thing, our hotel, and we had at that time we had that name and every address with us, but right now we have just came out to have food in the evening in shorts and all, and we don't have any information. Moreover, they ask the same thing, you have the keys of the room? No, we have given that too. And so that's happened, like they just try to trace which was that, the taxi person who left us, and they could trace that taxi person. Somehow they traced that taxi person who left us, both of us, in the hotel. And then they connected to that taxi person, and they came to know that this hotel we are staying. And by this time, it was almost 10:30, 11. We were sweating like anything. We were hungry, and we were like literally nervous, because the thing is, both are sitting, the police is sitting, we are sitting. Neither he is able to communicate anything, nor we are able to communicate anything to him. And moreover, we were nervous. So this problem happens, whenever you're in a new place and you don't know which hotel you are. But then slowly and slowly, what happens, if you start staying some places, then you start knowing people around, you start knowing the map around. And after some months, after a few months, you started telling others, someone come from in that place, new place from your own hometown. You can say, okay, you can go there, you can take a bus there, you can go there, you start guiding him. Then rather than the asker, now you are a guide, like that. So what I am saying, that slowly and slowly the mind understands the situation. It is not that all the information given at a time, and just that information is start showing its effect. Even the same amount of information takes time to settle in the mind. Okay, so don't worry, we are in a right thing, that we have enough time, and even if some time is required, things can settle in the mind. And that is a very good example I always think of. Even when I came to Vijayawada, earlier in Vijayawada, I just identified some hoardings are there, and most of the hoardings, just by the picture on the hoarding, I used to identify them. Okay, so I used to identify hoardings, and I could find out my way, how to, where to turn the car and all. So through those hoardings, okay. Slowly and slowly, I start, even without seeing the hoarding, I could turn, and I also tried to explore new alternate ways, where by what way I can reach to my home, you understand. So this, but then it cannot be done on the first day, second day. It takes time for the information to settle down. Dear children, after this personal experience of Tokyo, it was a nightmare. And let me now tell you more about this. Yesterday we have done one basis of classification, which is called the germinal layers. And I think germinal layers, we have diversified germinal layers, and more ramification, more and more branching of that we have understood. Can you please tell me any other basis of classification other than the germinal layers I should do? Which basis of classification? Tell me. Notochord, segmentation, notochord. Okay. As you are saying notochord, I'll take notochord. The first thing someone said, notochord. I'll take beta notochord. Notochord is a flexible rod. Notochord means it's a flexible rod. Flexible rod. What for? What is the purpose? It is supportive. Beta, it is a supportive rod, supportive structure. To what it provides support? It provides supports to, it provides support. It provides support to the nervous structure called the nerve cord, beta. Nerve cord. It provides support to the nerve cord. It is notochord. It provides support to the nerve cord. This nerve cord is the nervous structure. It is an important nervous structure. And this notochord is lying dorsally, okay? So it is dorsally placed in the body. Some animals have a notochord and some animals do not have a notochord. So animals without a notochord Animals without a notochord are known as non-chordates. Animals without a notochord are known as non-chordates. And animals with a notochord are known as chordates. Animals with a notochord, conditions apply. Animals with a notochord, they are known as chordates. Now, the condition apply is very, very important to understand. The first thing you have to emphasize, I have to emphasize here is this condition only. The condition says that this notochord is not necessarily present every time. Okay, so notochord at least in the embryo, at least in the embryo. The embryo is a larval stage. At least in the embryonic stage. Embryonic or larval stage. So if it persists later on, wonderful. But if it does not persist later on, then also, if ever it is there in the embryo, maybe after birth it is absent, but if it is ever in the embryo, such animals are known as chordates. So there are very few animals where both the embryo as well as the adult, they have a notochord. Generally, it is the embryo where the notochord is present and the adults do not have a notochord. However, some animals are there where the notochord persists even after birth. But the condition says that at least in the embryonic or the larval stage, notochord is present. If it is present anytime, maybe in a larval stage, maybe in the embryonic stage, we call those animals as chordates. Are you guys with me? Now, this is a supportive structure. Where is the notochord in our body? So in most of the animals, notochord is replaced by vertebral column. You know that it is a bony structure. It's a bony, made up of bone, vertebral column. And we know that this vertebral column, the backbone, okay, I'll call it simply in the simple language is backbone. And beta, you know that this backbone is a supportive structure. The backbone gives support to the spinal cord. And people, those who are having injuries in the backbone, they have permanent injuries in the nervous system where they have the spinal cord is injured and they have almost throughout the life, they become handicapped. They became disabled, or I should call them spatially abled, right? There are many sportsmen, there are many athletes who have lived a wonderful life, a very athletic life. Gymnasts are there who have got a very flexible body and they're earning millions of dollars in the tournament. One mistaken fall on the ground, they have got the backbone broken and they got injury in the spinal cord. But I remember that if any injury happened in the spinal cord, it can never, ever get healed. The nervous system is the one where the injuries cannot be healed. So once the cells damaged, they are damaged forever. And I have read those stories. So those people are living their whole life on wheelchair. And in addition to their, the reality is that they cannot even control their urination and their defecation. That is happening automatically. So they have to wear those, children, little babies wear, na? What do you call that? Absorptive pants they wear. Diapers, very good, diapers, yeah, diapers, right. So they have to wear adult diapers throughout their life. They are moving on chair and all the money is only now they are spending the money on doctors, on just getting the chair more and more advanced, and their such a life is there. Okay, so my dear children, please understand that if the spinal cord ever got some injury, it can never ever get healed. The nature of the nervous system is not in that way that any repair is possible. Okay, point number one. Point number two is it is a very delicate structure. And the point number three is that we have a bone, we have a bony column, we have a bony column. Inside that bony column, the spinal cord is well protected. So maybe we can twist, we can bend, but this bending is not enough to break it. It is not enough to break it. Only when very severe fall happens, then there are chances that permanent injuries on the spinal cord happens. And who support our spinal cord in our body? If you ask me, the vertebral column, the backbone support our spinal cord. And in the embryo, what was the backbone in the embryo? Bacha, in our embryo, the backbone was in the form of notochord. The backbone was in the form of notochord. So we animals, where the notochord has become the backbone or vertebral column, we can call us as vertebrates. Not all chordates are vertebrates. Many chordates are vertebrates, but not all chordates are vertebrates. But where we have a vertebral column means backbone. Animals with a backbone, we have a vertebral column, and animals with a vertebral column, they are called vertebrates. Not all chordates have a vertebral column. Are you guys with me? This is a very important structure, that all vertebrates are chordates, but not all chordates are vertebrates. So I hope you understand that chordates are the animals who have got a notochord. Conditions apply. And what is the condition? Condition is at least in one stage of their life cycle, at least in their larval stage, at least in their embryonic stage. Okay, at least in their embryonic stage, the notochord is present. So where is this notochord goes? Beta, notochord, either it is totally vanished or it is replaced by vertebral column. And in animals where the notochord is replaced by vertebral column, those animals are known as vertebrates. Okay, so I have written here, notochord is replaced by vertebral column. By vertebral column, notochord is replaced by vertebral column in some chordates. In some chordates, they are known as vertebrates. They are known as vertebrates. So all vertebrates are chordates. Beta, so all vertebrates are chordates. All vertebrates are chordates. All vertebrates are chordates. But here the golden statement is to know that not all the chordates are vertebrates, but not all chordates are vertebrates. Are you guys, have you understood this? So comma, I'll put a comma here. All vertebrates are chordates, but not all chordates are vertebrates, because chordates are the one where notochord is there. If notochord is replaced, if at all it is replaced by a backbone, then we call them as vertebrates. So obviously, all vertebrates are actually chordates, but not all chordates are vertebrates. And this is a statement. If anyone has not understood, you can precisely ask me which point you have not understood. I will understand the genuineness of the question, and accordingly I will answer. For the human vertebral column, good question, very good question. It's a very good question. Someone has asked. Genuine, I mean genuine. Good means genuine. There is a term called vertebral column. Vertebral column. and one term is called spinal cord. Spinal cord. Vertebral column is also known as the backbone. So beta, this is a backbone. It is a bone. It is made up of bone. You know, circular bones over one over the other, forming a column. And this is a spinal cord. This is a nervous structure. It is a nervous structure. Nervous structure. It forms the central nervous system. It forms the central nervous system. Central nervous system. Central nervous system. It forms the central nervous system. You understand this? You understand the difference? So there is a hell amount of difference. Beta, this is a neuronal structure. It is a nervous tissue, and this is a bony tissue. Beta, please understand that our bony tissue, our notochord, is derived from the mesoderm. I can call it as mesodermal in origin. This is mesodermal in origin, but this nervous system is actually ectodermal. This is ectodermal in origin. Ectodermal in origin. As like any part of the nervous system is ectodermal. So as the spinal cord, because it also represents the central nervous system. So brain, spinal cord, nerves, all are ectodermal, and all the bones, cartilage, all the supportive structure, all the connective tissue, it is mesodermal. So notochord is mesodermal. And spinal cord or nerve cord is ectodermal. In our case, the vertebral, I'll write here. Another good point I just remember to relate here. So, beta, what has happened? What has happened here? The notochord in the embryo, it has been transformed into vertebral column in the adult. This was present in the embryo. And what was the spinal cord in the embryo? It was the nerve cord. The spinal cord was the nerve cord in the embryo, and now it is called the spinal cord. It is modified and called the spinal cord. So, bacha, notochord becomes the vertebral column, and the nerve cord, I think you might have heard about the term nerve cord. So please understand that these two are hell amount of different structure. Notochord is mesodermal and nerve cord is ectodermal. Nerve cord represents the nervous system and notochord represents the supportive system or the connective tissue. It is a skeletal connective tissue. Do all animals have floating ribs? I'm not discussing ribs now, beta. So better you focus on this one, beta, first. Why they have different names, sir, different functions. What is mesodermal? Vaishnavi, yesterday you have seen that there are three germinal layers: ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. So if any tissue and organ derives from the mesoderm, it is called mesodermal. If it derives from the ectoderm, it is called ectodermal. If it is derived from endoderm, it is called endodermal. I hope you understand. So yesterday, this was based on the yesterday's class, okay? Brain doesn't form nervous system. Brain is a part of the nervous system, but a brain and spinal cord, they both form the central nervous system. Brain and spinal cord both forms the central nervous system, but brain is supported inside the cranium. So this brain box, cranium, and the spinal cord is inside the vertebral column. The brain is inside the cranium, and spinal cord is inside the vertebral column. Okay, to have then spinal cord is derived from 100%. Spinal cord derived from ectoderm. Just now I have written that. I have written that spinal cord derived from ectodermal. Spinal cord derived from ectodermal लिखा है, and vertebral column derived from mesoderm. So please make this is an important thing. If any concept building is required, it's an important thing. Please make your concept stronger rather than the terms are stronger. If you know more and more terms, it is not a good thing, because anytime we can do that. But once concepts, for example, now suppose after 1 week, if we still someone has a doubt what is mesodermal, it is more dangerous than someone does not know what is CSF, what is the reflex action, because as the time come, we'll be discussing it step by step. But right now, make sure that whatever sir is writing on the board, whatever sir is saying, whatever sir is repeating 2-3 times, that I should be able to be very much clear. And if not, then I will read the book, I will read the notebook, and I can ask the sir. Okay, children. So on the basis of notochord, we have divided the animals as non-chordates and chordates. On the basis of notochord, you know that notochord is a supportive structure. Notochord, if it is present, these are called the chordates. First, I start with absent. These are known as the non-chordates. And why I read them first? Because evolutionary wise, non-chordates came first and chordates came later. So if it is present, they are known as chordates. Chordates, okay? Chordates, fine. So non-chordate example. Now, if I have to write the example, beta phylum Porifera, up to phylum Hemichordata, Hemichordata. All are non-chordate phylum. And here example is only one phylum. Here example is one phylum Chordata. Example is one phylum Chordata, and these are the animals which are chordates, and non-chordates are members of the phylum Porifera, members of the phylum Nidaria, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Esculenthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, and Hemichordata. Up to Hemichordata, all these animals are non-chordates. Such a beautiful thing, I think very easy also. Now let me explain you the notochord, and if I am having any picture in my hand, I'll be showing you very beautiful pictures. It will be very nice to you for you to understand. I'll show you these pictures. A unique one, so they are not commonly available. I have searched them at different times. Someone drew them, some students drew. If a student has a good handwriting or a good drawing, I always collect his notes and keep them with me. Keep the copies of that. Just 1 second. अम्मा करो मेरा पेन ड्राइव स्टील कलर हाँ thank you. So I got them. Well, animal kingdom. You can see this, the structure. You can see such a beautiful structure. But this is what is called the notochord. You see here, this is a nerve cord, very delicate, thin structure, and just below it, you will find that the very flexible rod is there, and this is called notochord. And there are these extensions which are actually enclosing it, and you can just imagine that this is such a supportive structure. So anyone, even if you have to make a support underneath some pipeline or something, we used to do like this only, right? So this is a supportive structure. This is called the notochord. This is later on modified into vertebral column, and in those animals are known as vertebrates, right? The notochord, children. Now a better picture of a notochord in the larva of branchiostoma. It is animal which is called cephalochordate, a type of chordate. You can see the nerve cord, the yellow colored structure is the nerve cord here. This is the nerve cord, and anterior region of the nerve cord becomes the brain. You can see anterior region of the nerve cord becomes the brain. Now this is also there in our body also. Then we have a spinal cord, and the front region here, this is modified into a bigger structure and the brain. Or if we go down, then this we can trace to the spinal cord. In the same way, the brain is there and we can trace it back to the nerve cord. The nerve cord has become the spinal cord in our body. And this supportive structure, so that this won't break, this supportive structure is known as the notochord, okay? So this is a real picture, and what you see, this is the gut of the animal. The gut of the animal, you can see the pharynx, the stomach, the intestine. So if you see the gut, the tummy side, this is the ventral side. This is the ventral side. Obviously, back is the dorsal side. Because this is the ventral side. This is ventral, and this is dorsal. So you can see that it is more towards dorsal. The notochord is more towards dorsal, and exactly it is in between the nerve cord and the gut. It is sandwiched between the nerve cord and the gut. Are you guys there? Okay. So better you write it down. It is better not to skip it. You write it down that the nerve cord lies in between the notochord lies in between the nerve cord and the digestive system or gut. Okay. So what you have to write? You have to write that the notochord lies in between. It is in between the nerve cord and gut. Nerve cord and gut. Very, very important line in the examination. Direct lines will be asked. Statements will be given, and you are asked to find out whether the statements are right or wrong. Now, yesterday we have done this, a fertilized egg, a 2-celled stage, a 4-celled stage, and then as it is getting bigger and bigger, 8 to 16-cell stage, this structure is known as morula. Morula means, what is the name I have given? What does morula means? I want to just check. Morula means, beta, morula means, come on, tell me. Beta, morula means, lassia, okay beta. Mulberry, very good. Morula means mulberry. No, beta, Mayuk. Mulberry, the meaning of morula is mulberry. You know, mulberry, shahtut, mulberry. Mulberry. So it is, a mulberry is characterized by small berries. So it is looking like a morula. Okay, therefore we got a morula. And then there is a space inside, the cavity inside, and this is known as the blastula. In mammals, we can call it a blastocyst. And this is a stage where it is implanted. Implanted means it is attached to the wall of the womb and after garbham, and after that the development occurs in the wall of the garbham. Furthermore, it becomes the gastrula, and then organs are formed into it. When it is forming the gastrula, there are 2 or 3 germinal layers. In some organisms, there are 2 germinal layers, ecto and endo, and in most of the animals, it is 3 germinal layers, ecto, endo plus mesoderm. This is the fate of the blastopore, okay? Well, we'll talk about the fate of the blastopore. Blastopore is the first opening of the embryo, the fate of the blastopore. Right now, whatever we have done, I'll show the pictures of that. Coelom, I think we have not done the coelom. We have done diploblastic and triploblastic nature. Diploblastic and triploblastic nature, animals in which the developing embryo has cells arranged in two embryonic layers, an external ectoderm and an internal endoderm, are called diploblastic animals. Okay. Example, Coelenterata. Okay. An undifferentiated layer, mesoglia, is present in between the ectoderm and the endoderm. Very important. Mesoglia is an undifferentiated layer between the ectoderm and the endoderm, triploblastic. Animals in which the developing embryo heads a third germinal layer, the mesoderm, in between the ectoderm and endoderm, they are known as triploblastic. They are called triploblastic. Example, Platyhelminthes 2 chordates. Example, Platyhelminthes 2 chordates. Okay, you can see the diploblastic, the embryos where there is a diploblastic nature. Very clearly, you can see the embryo, diploblastic. One ecto and endo. Ecto, endo, and what is this? This is mesoglia. What is this? Mesoglia. Ecto, endo. Okay. This is ecto, endo, meso. Mesoderm. Bacha, this is mesoderm. Ecto, endo, meso. So some organs form from the ectoderm, some from the mesoderm, and some from the endoderm. Endoderm. Okay. So this is a triploblastic and this is diploblastic. In the symmetry, external symmetry, animals are asymmetric, sponges, they belong to asymmetric. Animals are asymmetric, animals are radially symmetrical, animals are bilaterally symmetrical. Animals are asymmetric, example, sponges, radially symmetrical, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, and adult Echinodermata, and bilaterally symmetrical, where Platyhelminthes to chordates, all the phylum members are bilaterally symmetrical. Organisms with bilateral symmetry contains a single plane of symmetry, the sagittal plane, which divides the organism into two roughly mirror images, left and right halves. Example, Platyhelminthes 2 chordata. So only one plane, sagittal plane, is the plane that divides the organism into two roughly mirror images, almost the mirror images. As you can see here, these are the two mirror images. So this is known as a bilateral symmetry. So many of them can be, we can make many of them on, there are many planes passing through the center. This is radial symmetry, and this somehow we cannot divide it into two identical halves or mirror images. This is asymmetrical. So asymmetrical, radially symmetrical, bilaterally symmetrical. Bilaterally symmetrical. Primary symmetry and secondary symmetry. Primary symmetry is the symmetry of the larva, and secondary symmetry is the symmetry of the adult. Primary symmetry, symmetry of larva, and secondary symmetry, symmetry of adult. Level of organization, if you have people, those who came, it's fine. Those who did not attend, they can just note down. Cellular basis, cellular level of organization, where animals are just clusters of cell. Example, sponges. Animals which have only tissues but no organs are Coelenterata and Ctenophora. Animals where organs are present, example, Platyhelminthes, but Platyhelminthes don't have the organ system. Animals with organ system level, Nematoda, means Aschelminthes to Chordata, all of them have organ system level of class of organization. So level of organization, symmetry, we have done it so nicely. Diploblastic and triploblastic nature also we have done it. This picture is giving an idea about the diplo and triploblastic. Coelom I'll be doing now, and before the coelom I have done the notochord. So notochord is a flexible rod made out of material similar to cartilage. Notochord is a rod-like structure derived from mesoderm present on the dorsal side of the body during embryonic development in some animals. NCERT definition: non-chordates are animals without a notochord. Example, Porifera to Hemichordata. Chordates are animals characterized by the presence of notochord at some stage during their development, at least in some stage of their life. Example, phylum Chordata. This is a picture of a notochord, and this is another picture of a notochord and a chordate. This is a typical chordate structure. typical chordate structure. Dear children, hope you have understood, and well, I hope you have understood this. Okay, done. Next one is phylum. Phylum. Phylum means a body cavity. It means a body cavity. When we say a body cavity, we mean by the true body cavity. It is not any body cavity. When we say body cavity, it means actually the true body cavity. True body cavity. Animals may have the body cavity, they may not have the body cavity. What is a true body cavity? Where is this true body cavity? Try to understand. A true body cavity is the one which is inside the mesoderm. Okay. So, beta, you have seen that ectoderm. I'll make the picture once again. Okay. This is ectoderm. Ectoderm. Endoderm, which color? Endoderm and mesoderm. Okay. So, mesoderm by green color. Now, if this is filled, all mesoderm is filled here, there is no cavity here, we can call it that phylum is absent here. Okay, what we can say, phylum is absent. Clearly you can see there is no space between the gut wall and the body wall. We can simply say phylum is absent. Everywhere is mesoderm. Okay, so once again let me write here, and this is the endoderm, and this is a gut wall, this is a gut, and this is a body wall. And as clearly you can see, there is no space. We can say the body cavity is absent, or the coelom. The body cavity can also be called the coelom. The coelom is absent. Coelom is absent. Are you guys with me? Coelom is absent. I'll make another picture to show the coelom. Be very careful to understand the coelom. I am now going to make you the picture of a coelom. This is the endoderm and that is the ectoderm. Generally, this is ectoderm. Ectoderm, the body wall is formed from the ectoderm, and the all green color is the mesoderm. Okay, so with the same color, let me make once again the body wall, and the gut wall. Okay, let me make once again the body wall and the gut wall. This is the gut wall. That is a yellow color is the body wall, and in between what we have, the mesoderm. But in some animals, the mesoderm is little different. The mesoderm has some space within. In such a way, the mesoderm has space within, like this, beta. The mesoderm has space within. Clearly, you can see mesoderm has some space within. It is like the mesoderm is in the form of a large pouch. In fact, not one pouch, but two pouches. Not one pouch, but two pouches joined together. One pouch is on one side and another pouch on another side. One pouch on one side, another pouch on another side. And these two pouches are actually fused or joined in the center. So this is how the structure looks like. And the space can be seen here, and beta, this space is the true body cavity or true coelom. Okay, so what is this space called? This is called the coelom, the true body cavity or the coelom. Okay, this is the true coelom. It is the true coelom. And why I am calling it a true coelom? Because all around is the mesoderm. It is inside the mesoderm. It is inside the mesoderm. Why I am calling it? Because it is inside the mesoderm. And this is actually filled by a fluid called coelomic fluid. It is not an air-filled cavity. It is filled by a fluid called coelomic fluid. So what is this? What is this? This is coelomic fluid. I'll be coming to you. I'll be talking to you. Just give me a time. I know that you are copying, you are writing things. This is coelomic fluid. Coelomic fluid, so that you can say, you can be proud of me you can be proud of me and you can be very confidently say that, yeah, these concepts are actually, Anurag sir has taken these concepts. So thanks to him, these concepts are good and fine. So you should be like not making any mistake and you will be more confident in these topics. Are you guys with me? Here coelom is present. Coelom is present and here coelom is absent. So this is known as acoelomate. This is called acoelomate, and this is known as the eucoelomate. U means true, eucoelomate, acoelomate, eucoelomate. A means absent, U means true, true, good. A means absent. Are you guys here? Have you understood this thing? Very good. Beta, diploblastic animals are acoelomates. Very good. Diploblastic animals are acoelomate. Very good. I have also shared that diploblastic animals, my NCERT, diploblastic animals are acoelomate. Even NCERT has mentioned that, or somewhere I think I have written that in the NCERT. I'll show it to you. All diploblastic animals are acoelomates. Okay, very good. So what I can do here, I can just select this acoelomate. Okay. In the course of evolution, we come across a group of animal where there is mesodermal pouches are there in place of the coelom in a proper shape as shown in the right. They will have mesodermal pouches. This is the body wall, the gut, and now what you are going to see that as such mesoderm is not there. In this way, pouches are present. Okay, so here what has happened, there are two big pouches which are fused, and here you can see so many pouches are there. The mesoderm exists in the form of pouches. This is not a true body cavity. Yes, there is a beginning. It is more advanced than the previous one. You can see it is more advanced than the previous one, but certainly this is not a true body cavity. Okay. As per the NCERT labeling, NCERT has labeled this part as the false body cavity, also called the pseudocoelom. NCERT has labeled this body. This is a body cavity called pseudocoelom, and these animals are known as pseudocoelomates. So acoelomates, eucoelomates, and in between, in the course of evolution, in between, these are known as the pseudocoelomates. What they are called? They are called the pseudocoelomates. Pseudocoelomates. Very, very important, pseudocoelomates. For NEET examination, for any competitive examination, but a pseudocoelomate is very, very important because we have only one example here and we can easily differentiate a question. We can separate, we can assort the options by this knowledge. A pseudocoelomate. So what are acoelomate? Here, example of acoelomate are both the diploblastic phylum. So what are the diploblastic phylum? Cnidaria, cnidarians and ctenophorans. Cnidarians and ctenophorans. They are diploblastic and they are acoelomate. Then example here, nematodes. Nematodes means members of phylum, which phylum, come on, which phylum? Aschelminthes. Aschelminthes. Members of the phylum Aschelminthes, they can be called nematodes. Members of the phylum Aschelminthes, the roundworms, they are pseudocoelomates. And eucoelomates, phylum Annelida, beta, phylum Annelida onwards to phylum Chordata, phylum Annelida to phylum Chordata are the true coelomates. A very, very important information is written on the board. You have to learn this. What are the acoelomate, what are the pseudocoelomates, and what are the eucoelomates? Acoelomates, Cnidaria ctenophora, pseudocoelomates, nematodes, and eucoelomates, annelids up to chordates. We can call members of the phylum Annelida as annelids, member of the phylum Chordata as chordates. Okay. Okay. Now I am now with you. Have you understood this, beta? Sorry. Cnidaria. I'll write phylum, no problem. Phylum Ctenophora. And one more phylum you can note down, phylum Platyhelminthes. Please note down phylum Platyhelminthes here. Please note down phylum Platyhelminthes. The flatworms, Platyhelminthes. Then the next higher phylum is Aschelminthes, which is a pseudocoelomate, and the next higher phylum is Annelida, which is a eucoelomate. Cnidaria ctenophora platyhelminths, these are the acoelomates, beta. Earlier I just forgot to write the platyhelminths. Now I am writing. I hope you have noted down platyhelminths. Okay. So the summary of this, beta, the summary of this will be in this way. On one piece of paper, you can write down the examples of the acoelomates, example of the pseudocoelomates, and examples of the eucoelomates. You have to write down these examples. Okay, this is your exercise. Before this, what you have to write down before this? Okay. So before this, you have to write down the cellular, any phylum with cellular level of organization, cellular level, phylum with the tissue level of organization, phylum with organ level of organization, and phylum with organ system level of organization. Organ system level of organization. At one place, you have to write them. Okay. Done. Done. Next thing that you have to do is you have to write down phylum which are asymmetric phylum, phylum with radial symmetry, and phylum with bilateral symmetry. You have to write down these examples. Okay. After that, what you have to do? Okay. After that, you have to do this thing. You have to write down the diploblastic phylum, the diploblastic and the triploblastic phylum. Triploblastic. examples of the diploblastic, examples of the triploblastic. So these are the different levels of organization. This is level of organization. This is symmetry. This is germinal layers, and this is coelom is present or coelom is absent. Finally, you have to write down. Finally, write down what are non-chordates. What are non-chordates and what are the chordates? So chordate, phylum, chordata, and the non-chordate, you have to write down what phyla are in non. However, it is very easy because only chordata is chordate, so all the remaining one are non-chordates, but still you can make some relation, you can write down some relation here, and that is, for example, the triploblastic phylum is also bilaterally symmetrical. So first triploblastic and first bilateral symmetry. Another thing, another relation you can make out that radially symmetrical diploblastic phylum are radially symmetrical. All diploblastic phylum are radially symmetrical and they are acoelomates. All diploblastic phylum are radially symmetrical and are acoelomates. All diploblastic phylum are radially symmetrical and are acoelomates. So these type of relations, and these are the relation which even the teacher knows, and the teacher will be asking them in the examination. Only one basis of classification is segmentation, and that is important. That is something little difficult because the segmentation is not very clearly mentioned in the textbook, and imagination is also not that easy. However, if you are okay with this, if you are born in doing this, for you guys, there will not be any problem. Segmentation is just peanuts for you, okay? So in these categories, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in these categories, any problem anywhere? Pseudocoelom. Pseudocoelom means the false body, false coelom. Pseudocoelom means false coelom. Okay, I'll show you. The difference between a eucoelom and a pseudocoelom. The roundworms, the nematodes. The roundworms or the nematodes. See, the first one. In the first one, the mesoderm is exists, it start coming in these, and remaining is the parenchyma. It is also mesodermal or parenchyma is there, and this is also mesodermal organs. This is, we can say, the non-embryonic mesoderm or extra-embryonic mesoderm and say embryonic mesoderm. Details of that right now we will just understand that. You can see that in between the gut and the body wall, there is no such space. Here space is present in between the gut wall and the body wall. Some space is present. You can see that some organs, some mesodermal organs start developing, and mesoderm also develop here. Mesoderm also develop on the periphery, but mesoderm is not developed inside. So we cannot say that this is enclosed within the mesoderm. It is only one side, means outer side is mesoderm, but inner side mesoderm is not there. So this is a pseudocoelom, it is not a true coelom. But if you see this one, here the mesoderm is present in both the place. Here also mesoderm and here also mesoderm, and these are the mesodermal organs. So if you are here, you can see that all around you are bounded by mesoderm. So here also mesoderm, here also mesoderm, and all this is mesoderm. All this is mesoderm here, and here also mesoderm. So this cavity is all around surrounded by mesoderm. This is the true coelom as per the definition of a coelom, and this is not a true coelom as per the definition of a coelom. And coelom means cavity, and this is not at all a coelom. This is a coelomate. This is not at all a coelom. Are you guys there? So if you just compare the NCERT diagrams, NCERT has made the diagrams in this way. Beta, these are the mesodermal organs develop, some pouches develop. Also I can make here that mesoderm has come on the periphery. I can also write that mesoderm has appeared on the periphery. Mesoderm has appeared on the periphery. Mesoderm has appeared on the periphery, but mesoderm is not appeared around the gut. So around the gut, mesoderm is not there. Okay, beta? That means that gut is not having any mesodermal organ. We know that muscles are mesodermal in origin, which means that the gut of these animals don't have the muscles. If you just think that the gut of chordates have a muscle in our body, do our alimentary canal has muscles? Certainly, yes, our alimentary canal has muscles, and these muscles help us in peristalsis, in movement of the food, right? We have muscles. From where the muscles come? The muscles are derived from mesoderm. So you can see that mesoderm and the endoderm, they are together. So mesodermal organ, the muscles can develop, but there is no such possibility of a muscle developing here. So this is non-muscular gut. The gut is non-muscular, and here the gut is muscular. Here the gut is muscular. Of course, it is non-muscular. There is no question of the muscular gut. Any other doubt, beta? Any other doubt? I'll be taking your doubt, and then I'll be saying goodbye to you. Coelomic fluid, very good question. Coelomic fluid give us the cushioning effect, okay? So there are many organs are there, and it is like a shock absorber. So many organs are there. You can see all these are the organs, and so these organs are not against any hard surface. They are all around by a coelomic fluid, okay? They are all surrounded by a coelomic fluid here. So here also you will find that a coelomic fluid is there. So the coelomic fluid acts like a shock absorber. You understand? It acts like a shock absorber. Nerve cord is present for all organisms. I told you that one phylum where the nervous organs are absent, which are Cnidaria and Ctenophora. However, the nerve cord starts appearing from the platyhelminths. So platyhelminths onwards all have the nerve cord. Why Aschelminths is known as gone? Why Aschelminths is known as nematodes? Okay, because the biggest class of Aschelminths is only one class, Nematoda. Nematoda is the name of a class rather than the phylum. But because we only read one class, which is Nematoda, it's the largest class of the Aschelminths. So sometimes, because we only read that one, we only talk about that one. So sometimes we refer them as the nematodes. However, Nematoda is the largest class of Aschelminths. Can you kindly make a work? Again, it is gone. Please explain pseudocoelomate. I have done that. Kindly make a worksheet for us on this topic. Certainly, yes. Certainly, yes. Yesterday, you did not, I was not very happy with you guys. But today, like you are writing normally. Yesterday, you were asking such unnecessary questions that what is a gene? And so it is good. But then you have to understand, I cannot show you a gene. And if something you have to do now, it is not everything. I will open up your skull and I will put that information inside. Your efforts should also be there. I did not leave MBBS. I have completed my MBBS. I have completed my 1-year internship training also. So I am a qualified doctor. I am ready to practice throughout. I am able to practice throughout India, and I can even take the government job in Uttarakhand and Rajasthan, and also Haryana, right? So in Rajasthan, in Haryana, and in Uttarakhand, these are the 3 places where I can do the government job, the state government job also. Are you guys there? ठीक है बेटा? Okay? Understood? Understood? Placenta, plus which college? Medical college. It is JLN Medical College. JLN stands for Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College. It is in Ajmer, Rajasthan. Ajmer, 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 Rajasthan. And I am from the 95 batch, 1995 batch. I am from the 1995 batch. Listen to the previous class. Previous class have been uploaded on the YouTube. So you can go to the channel Shri Gosalites Medical Academy, and even the class numbers are also mentioned there. So you can go. Only in the zoology, the first two classes were not recorded properly. So from the third class onwards, classes are there. In physics, second class onwards, recording are there. And I think in chemistry, from first class onwards, I think recording is there. So you can go to the YouTube and you can listen to the classes. I have my 10th class marks. I don't remember, beta. I don't remember my 10th class marks, but they are not in like 99 or something like that. They must be somewhere around 73 or 75%. They are not that fancy. Now it is possible to get fancy percentage, but that time even scoring 75% was a big deal. Diploblastic and triploblastic, we have done that yesterday. Botany, last year, botany, we had 1 week just before me. Botany sir came and he has, and when I'll be completing my week, then again botany sir will come and he will take the classes. We have a very senior teacher in botany who is taking botany. Divya ma'am is not for botany. Divya ma'am is for chemistry. Divya ma'am is a very smart and very energetic teacher in chemistry. Very honest, very methodical, very methodical, very strict also, strict, methodical. Yesterday I have shared even the classes. Okay, I have even shared the classes, the PDF of the classes yesterday. How many marks you got in gift class? Me? My gift class, beta, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, you can score, you can scan this, and just like someone is sharing with me, so kind of you can please share. Again, just like yesterday also, please share this with me, okay? So you can just go to the PDF, now you do something, you do some scanning and you can share that file to me.